So I decided to just do a part two instead of starting over. I don't know, my energy is a little funky today. It's hot. I'm not a huge fan of humidity. Heat is one thing, but when it's hot and humid, I'm like, ugh. And so I was watching back some of the first part, and my energy's a little low, but not really, you know. Maybe I'm feeling like mellow today. Like I'm not high or anything. I was up for most of the night, but that's my own fault. I was drinking coffee, and I don't know. I'm still getting a hang of this, and I didn't necessarily love the first part, but I'm learning to not over edit myself, and I said some. I feel like I made the important points I wanted to make, but it stopped. And I don't know, maybe I wanted to regroup. I actually have a thought about starting over, and I need to stop doing that. I need to keep going. I did what I did, and I'm just gonna call this a part two, and I'm gonna keep going, and post this as a part two, because that works too. And so I'm ask Spirit to kind of bring it home for us, like, you know what it is? Maybe I feel like, I don't know, I think I felt the feeling like I was going to say more. I be thinking I'm going to say more. And then it's like, how much is more? Like, I think that one was like 35 minutes. So like, there I go again with the judgment. And like, this thing's kind of annoying me a little bit. But I don't. My umbrella is pretty fixed where it's at. It's in a good position right there. And I don't want to move in. Now, see, that's me being that perfectionist again, and still releasing the self-judgment. And also because a lot of days went by from the last one to this one. I'm trying to do better about posting 2 to 3 times a week, at least once a week. I try not to promise more than 2, but I appreciate this doing this surprisingly, and it definitely coincides with the part 1, right? It's like following the guidance, surrendering to the guidance, and recognizing what I'm getting out of what they told me to do, as opposed to, you know, I'm a little spoiled, and I didn't grow up having to do a lot of chores. I'll be honest with you. I helped out. I'm not saying I didn't do anything ever. But I have a sister that's kind of a neat freak. And, you know, off and on having jobs, and I moved out, I moved home, moved out, moved home. So it's kind of different when you're cleaning up for yourself and doing chores, you know, while you're living with your family. And like I said, my sister's kind of a neat freak. My mom is home most of the day, so it's like, what else is there to do? So they're usually doing most of the straightening up. But the point that I'm getting at is, I think I might have just been being kind of a spoiled brat, and not doing everything Spirit told me to do, and maybe being kind of a smart ass, and being in my head like, well, how is that going to help? Or, you know, part of my reluctance with starting this, it's like, dang, once I start, then I got to be consistent. It's like, but that's also part of life, isn't it? Like, being consistent. And if I wanted to even have a laundromat for a business, right, just there got to be some kind of consistency. And I guess reflecting out loud and sharing some things, I am working on sharing without being an oversharer. It's like, that's also what I was nervous about, because I'm a very transparent person. Like, ain't really no shame in my game. Like, I be sometimes be in conversation with people. I am one of those people that can be in conversation with you. I just met you, and I can tell you something that's really, that others would say is really private, but I'm a seer. I'm a seer, and that was part of navigating being a seer, is people can't see everything that you see. And I'm hoping to attract more seers here, and folks who are gifts are, are where they actually are, and not just where you hope they are and where you say they are. Like, everyone's not spiritually higher ranked, and that's just the reality. And it's like 12th graders want to hang out with other 12th graders. It's just because they're in the school with 9th and 10th graders. Like, we could be cool with the 9th and the 10th graders, but I'm in the 12th grade. I want 12th grade friends. I'm in college now. I want college friends. And so I'll admit, one of the things about, being this high priestess, right? There's the high priestess card. Being this high priestess and this hierophant is I would like to meet more high priestess and hierophant friends. Because I know people who are on my level is not going to downplay me. People who are on my level or higher is going to see it for what it is. They might actually see the things that I'm seeing, and I don't have to be the only one in the room seeing it. That was a bunny. And the bunny rabbit this is an interesting park. We actually have these little brown bunnies, and they're definitely living here and starting families. Cause then you after a while you start to see little babies, and then the babies get bigger, and then time goes by, and then you start to see more babies. So like, I would totally be okay with this park being somewhat overran by bunnies. And so yeah, so like part of the point that I was getting at with the first one is like recognizing how your energy is manifesting certain situations and circumstances. And there's a saying that goes, when you want what you've never had, try doing things you've never done, right? And so I have not done this. There's a lot of things that Spirit told me to do, and I didn't do it. And I was maybe, again, being a smart ass and talking back and maybe thinking too hard about it from a logical perspective, from a 3D perspective, and forgetting that I'm not 3 and 4D. I'm actually higher than that. And not incorporating all of myself isn't necessarily being logical, is it? And so yeah, as I'm manifesting myself into a lot of these wonky situations, I have no regrets, to anybody who I've blocked and don't talk to anymore. I just want you to know I don't hate you at all. It's just, again, a part of being a Hierophant is I understand why we meet. A lot of times Spirit will tell you. They'll tell you why this person came into your life and what the energy exchange is supposed to be, and then Spirit will tell you when it's time to go. Right? And so this person was looking, they're looking for something. It's like some people, like, they need something bad to happen, so they have a reason to go. But Spirit telling you to go is enough reason, right? So I've gotten to a place in my life where I exit situations because Spirit said it's time to go. You got to move on. Someone who's a traveling salesman. Like, I'm a healer, right? I'm a healer for people. And so, you come into the situation, there's an energy exchange that needs to happen here. And then when it happens, you move on to your next situation, right? Because these various situations are for helping you grow and into the highest vibrating version of yourself. So don't be so stubborn. Learn from me. I've lost so much and then gained so much and then lost so much. And instead of feeling quote unquote backstabbed by life, I sought to recognize what do I have control over versus what do I actually don't. What do I actually have control over versus what I don't. And sometimes we actually have more control over the elements than we think we do, but want to enact control over 3D situation that you don't have control over. That makes sense? Like, I have gifts. I can talk to spirit. They can talk back. It's like I didn't have to be so paranoid. Didn't have to be so paranoid for so long, but I was being logical. And I was not recognizing how much was being projected onto me, how much of that fear was projecting onto me and wasn't my fear. That's why I would get kind of confused by that. Like, what am I actually afraid of? I don't know. And I wanted, Spirit reminded me of something that I said. Spirit wanted to remind me of something that I said about myself, about life. And to be honest, it's like, if I'm going to die, I'd rather die living. I don't want to die in paranoia. I don't want to, I'm sorry to sound morbid, but you don't know when your day is coming. You don't know when you're going to die, how you're going to die. And I'm alive today. I'm here today. I'm aware today. I'm awake today. And I can enjoy today. I can find a way to enjoy today. And see this. It's like the bottom of the deck is literally giving me 10 of Cups, a Page of Swords, the World card, the Lover's card, for the Hierophant, right? This Nine of Wands card, right? Just kind of, in a lot of ways, represents the hard work. 9 is transformation. Wands is action. It's fire. So it's like coming through the fire. Also, you have to work. Having to work your way through the situation. Having to work my way through the paranoia, the emotions, right? That hard work is going to pay off. Right? So how many of us are saying, where's my abundance? Where's my abundance? Where's my abundance? And that conversation actually reminded me that part of your abundance is that you're here now. Part of your abundance is that you survived. You have this, you survived it, you did it. Pentacles isn't just money. It's resources. It's the material aspect of life. And so that abundance could look like new friends. Maybe Spirit is trying to bring you into new friends, but you won't leave the house. I'm doing that. I'm literally talking about myself. Spirit guides will tell me, hey, maybe once you go to the library, once you do this, once you do that. In my mind, I'll be like, but I only have $10 and coffee is $3 one way, which is terrible. I don't know why we're not protesting that, but coffee is only $3 one way. And I get into this 3 and 4D logic, and I'm like, well, I could also take this $10 and go get some weed and go chill in the park. Meanwhile, it's just me. It's still me wishing, low-key wishing to have more community in my life, have more friends in my life, and but not doing what they said, right? So it's the reminder of Spirit. It's like, hey, part of that abundance is the new people we're trying to bring into your life. Right? We see you working hard. At 7 of Pentacles, right? 7, yep. 7, when I see a lot of 7s, it tells me that you're a healer. Yeah, but some of you might not even notice, but like when I'm in conversation with you, like I'll see a lot of times it's in the wording. It's like a lot of times your own spiritual message will come out of your mouth. And I'll hear the number 7 a lot, or you know what I mean? Like, because like attracts like. Like attracts like. And I've had a lot of encounters with people where I'm like, I know I'm talking to another high priestess. I know I'm talking to another Hierophant, but unfortunately, I say the world got into them, right? The world got into them. You surrounded yourself by people who treated you like you was regular for so long that when you met me, it sounded like I was lying. I'm like, you're not regular. You're like me. I'm like, hello, hi, other Hierophant. Like, We're born this way. We're really just learning to hone it. It's like we're born with the vehicle, and we're just learning to drive it. Some of us are born with these gifts, and I'm sorry. I want to say I'm sorry because I do accept responsibility for the fact that my downplaying myself might also have contributed to them being confused by me. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's part of it. Maybe it's not. Also, I'm a seer, so like a weird circumstance doesn't block me from seeing what I need to see, to be honest. And hence, like I said, the conflict, right? The internal conflict manifested as external conflict. Because, of course, spirit is conflicted with me downplaying myself. Of course, my spirit is my own soul and mind and body likely is also like, why are we doing this? Why are we downplaying? Why are we allowing folks to take advantage of us? Why are we not going for it, right? You have all these things people are jealous of you about, and you've been downplaying. This Lover's card came out too. Did I even show it? I might have skipped it, right? See, there I go again. Like what I said about, I think the last post before the other day, relationships. Like, I think I even admitted out loud. It's part of the reason why I'm admitting out loud, because it's my way of confirming to spirit that I heard you. Like, I heard you, and I'll even like say this out loud, right? So there might actually be a relationship. This Lover's card comes up often. So I feel like spirit has been trying to guide me to new relationships. They're like, when I say, where's my abundance, I meant money. I'm not even joking. I'm like, where's the money? How many tarot card readings I gotta do? How many more DJ gigs I gotta do before we get to... Shit, where was it? Before we get to this sucker, right? Where the pentacles is everywhere. How do we get to that? And so Spirit keeps saying, well, maybe there's some connections we're trying. Maybe there's a connection. Like maybe there's a business partner. It could be a part of me kind of gave up on the idea of being a power couple with anybody, to be honest. And maybe Spirit wanted me to sort of let it go so that it could actually just happen naturally. So maybe it's that. Maybe you'll have a power couple situation. Maybe it'll be a little bit of both. Maybe you'll meet a partner and a best friend, right? Just because there's two people in the card doesn't mean Spirit is only talk about you and one other person, right? Lovers is like love, letting in the connection, letting in the new connections. It's this sun card, right? So maybe this is something that's going to happen this summer. Maybe this is something that'll happen literally during Leo season, because this makes me, I don't think this is necessarily the Leo card, but just that sun and angel in the background makes me think of, right? So I'll take that bird chirping that loud. I'll take the bird chirping loudly as a confirmation. They're like, ding, 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 right? We're trying to bring new connection into your life. So like, when I went to the beach a couple of days ago, and I met these folks, and I made this connection. Maybe I never see them again. Maybe I do. That's not even the point, right? It's about getting myself out there, connecting with folks, and there's a couple other places Spirit been wanting me to go, but where I went to my comfort zone, still being stubborn, right? So I feel like that was Spirit way of showing me, like, because what also happened was it was really windy that day. Out of all the days I finally decided to go to the beach, it's a day that is extremely windy. And I was expecting rain the next day, and there wasn't. So I stayed inside because I was expecting rain, and so I was kind of annoyed. Like, dang, I could have went and did something. I might have sat in the park like this that day, but I mean, this is great, something to do, but it's like Spirit might be a little frustrated. Spirit might be a little frustrated with folks like with us not listening to the signs. So it's okay sometimes to sit and reflect instead of looking for more signs. It's okay to sit and reflect on the signs that you've been seeing. What has been the signs? Like, which way are the arrows pointing you? Go that way. Go. Like I'm making a plan in my head. See, that star card came right out. I'm a triple Aquarius, right? Spirit keeps calling me a star, right? Spirit keeps saying I'm gonna be famous one day, and I'll be honest with you, I never wanted to be famous, so I'm definitely slow to that notion. I wanted to just be creative. I wanted to be a helpful, healing energy in the world, and maybe it's destiny. Maybe another thing this person said was like, it's in the blood, right? It's in the blood. It's in the blood. I have a famous relative that I'm not gonna say who they are, but it's in the blood, right? There goes the Lover's card again, and there goes that Lion. So yeah, I think you're gonna be making some new friends this summer. So I would say get out and about. And I would say don't worry about money so much, right? If you don't got a lot of money, then go places where you know it's free. Spirit's telling you, like, everything happens for a reason, right? And so maybe the library is where you're going to meet the love of your life, right? It's free there. Maybe that's where you decide to go. You know what I'm trying to say? Because say you get the physical money now, one of the first things I want to do if I get some money is get out of town, right? But if there's someone here Spirit wants me to meet, they don't want me to leave yet. So maybe sometimes Spirit will withhold the money until you meet certain people. Also, in support of that, right? A lot of times Spirit will want to bring people into your life who will be a supportive friend for the new chapter as the new chapter is unfolding. And talk about money specifically, sometimes money can be a distraction. Sometimes money can actually be a distraction from what Spirit is trying to get you to actually do. Because sometimes we'll take the shortcut. I'll pay for that. I could just pay for the cab. Right? Well, maybe there was an encounter Spirit wanted you to have on that train. Maybe there was an encounter Spirit wanted you to have at that park, at that beach. Maybe there's an encounter Spirit wanted you to have at that free party versus the other party you would have paid for if you had the money. Right? And so I'm honestly talking about myself in a lot of ways, y'all, and reflecting out loud and sharing, because I know people have questions they act like they're afraid to ask me. I don't mind being asked questions. I mind when people are just using me. I have a Cash App and a Venmo. I didn't even name a price. It's like, I mean, I'm gonna have price scales and stuff at some point, but you get what I'm saying? Sometimes it's the thought that counts. I'm not trying to milk people for every last dime, but it's the principle. It's the exchange. It's also it's making a statement to the universe, right? We have no qualms about paying for anything else we want. These two cards came out. See, here's it again. So, okay, so this is the first time, I'm be honest with y'all, this is the first time in a long time I think I just saw all three, or four actually. I think I seen 3 or 4 because I was shuffling before we started. I think it's the first time in a long time I've seen all the relationship cards. So I feel like there's a relationship on the horizon. See it? You notice how nervous I am about that? Because I'm like, But there's your knight on the white horse. Here's your knight on a white horse riding into town saying, babe, just move in with me. I don't know why you fronting. That's the energy. This person is confident. They know what they want. They're on that horse. Right? One thing I like about this card, I find kind of funny, right? It's like, sorry, move on, brother. He's up in this horse and people are standing. And he's kind of looking up over those people. So there might be somebody interested in you. There's somebody interested in you. They might be someone who's in the spotlight, But they're looking right over those people, right at you. And then like the horse, the animal had come up too, like horses, because horses are prideful, horses are regal. Maybe they're horse energy. I forget. I used to actually study the Chinese zodiac as well. I would actually bring those together. I haven't read that book in a while. That one is collecting dust somewhere. That was a good book. Thank you to the friend who gave me that book. That was a really great book. But yeah, when I think of horses, think of like regalness. They're regal, and it's funny because they do have a silly side. They do have a silly side. You know, they can play. They can go this see. I don't know why that's the first thing I want to come out right now. But be mindful. I would say move forward. Keep moving forward. Don't let the backstabbing in the past block your forward movement. You'd be surprised how intuitive exes can be. They have a way of like saying, hey, remember me? Like right when your second foot's coming through the door. There's another sun card. It's like I'm noticing a lot of sun action happening. This is literally the sun card. This is the Leo energy. I like this energy, right? It's a little baby on the low. It's another horse, right? There's a lot of horse references. So it's like someone's riding in on a white horse. Maybe some of you actually ride horses. If you live in New York or anywhere around New York and you own horses and you're looking for like volunteers in exchange for, you know, food, and I can bring a tent, like, I'm totally down. I've always wanted to talk to a horse. I'll be honest with you. As a matter of fact, I might be able to find a way to do that. New York is a fascinating state, you know, not just the city. We forget sometimes that there's a whole state. We do have some cowboys here, so yeah, maybe I can find them. I can actually go learn to ride a horse, literally. But there's an energy coming to you. Maybe they are a Leo, maybe they have Leo placements, and maybe both, right? Maybe they'll be out celebrating their own birthday, and you'll happen to be at that party, and they're like, hey. The other one went away. Oh, there goes that bee now. Bee wants to join us. That's a big ass bee too. That looked like a queen bee, one of them big fuzzy ones. That was a little scary. I was a little afraid for my life for a second there. Yeah, I haven't been bit. See, there it goes again. I got nothing, bee. I can't believe y'all are seeing me. Okay. Yeah, the person. I'm sorry, there goes that bee. I'm not gonna talk forever. I'm here. We're here. We're doing this. I only think I got a couple more minutes in me. So I think the bee wants to be in the shot. Might as well be on camera if you're gonna be over here. Now it runs away. Doesn't want to be on camera. I don't think I'm supposed to be shuffling like this. You know what? Okay. Let's wrap this up. Dragon cards. I feel like something I said made sense. Pushing through it. Oh, I just like to even them out before I start shuffling again. Maybe one couple of seconds. The dragon cards are so pretty. I actually feel like they're my prettiest deck, is the dragon cards. Although, yeah, this one I feel like it's kind of deep. This one's big and pretty and it has words on it. This is a good deck. I'll actually try to remember, try to find the boxes or something, or Google the names of them so I can tell you the name of this deck, because it has words right on it. It's really good for someone who's a beginner. It pretty much spells it out for you. I think this one came up earlier, right? This lilac fire. I kind of like the way that rolls. It's kind of complicated to say. Did you see the bee just now? I told the bee to come on camera. I know I got this umbrella blocking. You know, I didn't want my face to be washed out by the sun. Golden Solar Dragon helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated, become an inspired leader. Become an inspired leader, right? Again, the Sun card, the Leo energy, the Leo Gemini combination is like, it's like over the years, I feel like I've spent a lot of time in the divine feminine energy, and now Spirit is like, embrace more of your masculine energy. I'm a trans person, which is a fascinating experience in and of itself. And this idea that you take some testosterone, it just automatically makes you masculine. It doesn't. You're more masculine looking because I have a beard, I guess, if that's what masculine looking is. But it doesn't necessarily just make you more masculine. Masculine energy very much. I feel like masculine energy requires effort. Actually, I feel like for me, and maybe it's just me, but for me, masculine energy requires more effort than being in my feminine energy. I like flow. I like flowing. I don't like having to push. But I'll do if I have to, right? It's time. I really want to get out of this old energy. And so I feel like this is the energy where Spirit is like, okay, you did enough flowing. You might need to push a little. Sometimes you got to push that door. Sometimes the treasure is something you got to literally dig for. Like, sometimes you got to pop a lot. Orange, right? Orange is sacral. It's like golden solar dragon. So I feel like what's happening here with gold, I feel like it's orange is sacral, right? The creative energy. So yeah, Spirit wants me to create more. Because there's a bunch of, I started making little jewelry and stuff. There is a bunch of there are more things Spirit has been telling me to make. So they're like, we need you to get started, do everything you possibly can do within the time frame that you have. And masculine energy is also like protective energy. I am very much a protective friend. That's probably when my masculine energy comes out the most. If I feel like somebody's trying to play me or someone I care about, or even a stranger, to be honest with you, I don't like seeing people be done dirty. It's like, so again, if you need a human lie detector, I'm really good for that. Then it says, let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated, right? So what I said about allowing yourself to follow the guidance towards vibrating at the highest frequency possible. So when you shift your vibration, it does change your DNA. Raising your vibration changes your DNA. Opening up to Spirit, maturing, shifting your energy shifts everything, right? And Spirit, and also Spirit saying like, let us activate you. Like let us do this. Let's do this. Basically what they're saying, and it says become an inspired leader. Like, so Spirit wants me to be a leader. I don't know what I'm a leader of, but okay. Oh, right. So I was saying about the gold. Gold to me is kind of like a combination of like yellow and orange. So I feel like, yeah. So Spirit is speaking a lot to my Leo energy and Leo rising. Right. I feel like the world is finally learning about rising and moon signs, and your rising sign has a lot to do. Is very much involved with how you show up in the world. And so that is one of the things I was focused on for a lot of years. And again, like, we get so caught up in the mishaps and the times that people wronged us that I was not really allowing myself to bask in the achievement. So apparently I achieved it, right? In other words, I'm a triple Aquarius who wanted to learn how to lean more into their Leo energy, which is my rising. Leo is literally the polar opposite of Aquarius. And so in a large way, it's like, in so many ways, I had to do a complete 180 change in order to change my life. And birth chart helped me doing that. Okay. Black dragon. cocoons you so that your divine potential grows. Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. Again, Spirit is like, let us change, let us help you change for the better, right? A lot of times, again, being someone who prefers to dance to beat of my own drum and being rebellious and, I do what I want. I'm very much I do what I want kind of person. And sometimes we're not listening to the guidance. They're like, let us guide you. We're trying to guide you to the version of yourself that has all the money. Like, we want to be real literal about this. We want to help you get to the money. But we're trying to do that. And it says cocoons you so that you can grow. Like, we have you protected. You don't have to be in fear. Like, I'm still hanging on to some fear. Which is something I don't always like to say out loud. Because maybe I feel like I'm giving too much power to the fear while I'm trying to move away from it. But also re-engaging my relationship with fear is actually what I did, which is another achievement that I keep downplaying, right? It's like, you're doing all this stuff and you're covered, right? You're protected. Don't worry about the projections too much. Don't worry too much about having to protect yourself. We got you protected. You focus on your growth. Forget the paranoia. Forget your worries about this, this and that going wrong. Focus on your growth. We got you. That's basically what they're saying. And they have definitely been telling me to meditate more. I've been reflecting a lot. It wouldn't hurt for me to actually sit and meditate more often. So I guess that's what I'll likely do after I get off of this thing. So I've honestly been going down the list. It's like once I finally started surrendering, it's like surrendering more and more. It gets easier and easier, right? Like, anytime you do anything you're not used to doing, it seems hard at first. Alpha dragon, right? So again, Spirit's wanted me to get into that alpha energy. I didn't show you this black dragon. I like that. Black dragon, I like the way that sounds. Then now we have an alpha dragon. So Spirit is like, when we said getting your masculine energy, we meant that. Harness the divine masculine power of creation. Destroy the old. Visualize your dream. Help to manifest a new world. So they're like balance, right? I guess I tend to think of feminine energy as creation energy. They're just like, no. You can create with masculine and feminine together, right? That's what procreating is. When you bring the masculine and feminine together, you procreate. You do that within. You actually do that within. Alpha. It's funny because I don't really think of myself as an alpha person, and maybe I am more than I like to think of myself as. Like, if you want to be real technical about it, I have in my chart Leo, Aquarius, Capricorn, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, right? Like, these are all I do what I want kind of energies. So maybe I'm more of an alpha personality than I like to admit. I actually consider myself a more Sigma personality. And that's also what I want to say. It's mad random that I'm saying this right now, but for all this debate about alpha, beta, it's like, I'm a Sigma personality, which means I'm a lone wolf. I've been a lone wolf personality. However, one of the cool things about Sigma personality is we can be alpha when we need to be. Like, the lone wolf is another kind of leader, right? There's like the person who's just an alpha. It's like they kind of need something to lead to feel like a leader. Where the Sigma knows they're a leader, they got nothing to prove. And if I'm in the back of a car and the driver is driving all over the damn place, like, I will say, excuse me, like, just let me do it. So we have no problem taking on alpha role when it needs to, when there needs to be one. But yes, destroy the old, visualize your dream. Destroy the old. Literally destroy. Sometimes I remember when I was overcoming an older relationship, one of the things I did to help overcome is I destroyed something she gave me. And so sometimes that's absolutely literal. Like, if you need to you've been divorced and you find yourself still kind of lingering in the energy of resentment or something like that, and then whatever reason his shoes are still in the closet or something, like, burn them craps. Like, burn that crap. Don't burn down your house. Try not to completely do Elisa Lopez, but I'm not in complete disagreement with the energy she was in. I'm not in complete disagreement with it. It's, I don't think she meant for the whole house to go up, but I don't think she was that sorry, and I don't think she needed to be that sorry, to be honest with you. Okay, this will be the last one, because I feel like we've seen this before. Pure white dragon from Orion. That's also that reminder for the folks out here who know that, we're a part alien. Like, we're from another world. You have that alien DNA activation. Like, I won't go too much into that. Those who know what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about. Transform your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand. Right, so you learned a lot in the course of becoming this higher vibrating version of yourself, and you turn that knowledge into wisdom, which is what I'm doing here, right? And I'm sharing. I was having a lot of experience, and I recognize too, is like having a lot of experience of people trying to use me. Really, it's just a reflection of I have something. I have something. Like, I have something. If I have something worth stealing, then I have something worth buying, and I have something worth giving, right? So the users told me everything I needed to know. The extent to which you're willing to go to steal told me how much I should charge. Right? Especially people who could afford it. Stealing it's so silly. Because you could have just paid. You could have just paid for the wisdom, and you would be able to say, like, oh, I'm a student of this person. But unfortunately, folks wasn't thinking that far ahead. But again, you live, you learn. Hopefully they learn from the situation hopefully they learn, and now they have the situation to reference moving forward. And the rest is up to spirit. Right? I showed up, my authentic self, did the best I knew how, and when it was time to go, I left, right? A large part of the responsibility of the healer is knowing when to exit, because you might actually mess up, like, why you were there, what you were there for, right? Like, regardless of how much you love your therapist, and therapists might really like you, at some point the time is up. You gotta go. You can't just sit there and talk. Right? It's time to go. And if the therapist truly is doing their job properly, there should come a time where they say, you're doing so well, I actually don't even feel like you need therapy anymore. And just to be honest with you, right? And so, if there's not a point, if there's not ever a point with therapists saying that, then I don't know if the therapist is really doing what they're supposed to be doing. Or maybe you're not being transparent. But you get what I'm trying to say. It's like a large part of being a healer is knowing when to exit. So that's what I'm about to do. We're about to be at 44. I like that number, so I'm going to hang on. All right, so thank you, everybody. Thank you. I hope that was helpful in some way, shape, or form. Thank you again. I will be back, we're getting it together. We're doing it. And I think we're doing a pretty good job, Actually, I actually think I have one subscriber. I'm sorry to say this all the way at the end, but I think I have one subscriber, and I'm not ignoring you. I've been using my cell phone, and I can't actually see who the subscriber is. And so I just want to thank you. And actually what I'll do is I'll start with that on the next video. So again, peace and thank you, and peace and thank you.